How we doing?
Thank you.
Kobe, it was a historic year for Penn State, making it to within mere plays of the national championship. What did it mean to you to be part of that, and what does it say about James Franklin as a head coach to be able to get you guys that far?
First, it meant a lot just from all the hard work we put in, day out. And just to see what it took from, the first workouts in the wintertime to the last game we played, it was just a testament to how hard we worked and, how far we came and grown throughout the season. But for James Franklin, man, he put everything into us. He instilled a lot of football IQ into us, situational awareness, just being great men on the field and off the field. And, we learned a lot from this season, so that was really it.
Kobe, what were the factors that made you decide to leave school with another year left?
Well, the factors is really just looking back at my process and the way I prepared throughout my career. I definitely felt like I progressed throughout my career as well as, excelled in certain areas, stats, growing as a player, as a person, as a man. I just felt I was ready to take the next step and, ready to show the next level that I can be one of the best on the next level, so.
How much you talk with Kalen about the decision process?
We talk almost every day about it. He give me tips and certain things to look into and certain things to do and try different that he did. But we two different people. Linebacker, he's a corner. But he definitely gave me some tips and things to do. Looking forward to this process.
What was the best one?
Most specifically from his pre-draft and also post-draft process.
Really, he was just giving me tips and tricks on do's and don'ts. Really, some things to look forward to, some things to not really avoid, but some things to keep truthful because certain questions might get asked and they're gonna know the answer to it. So he's just saying stay truthful, do's and don'ts, and you really just be myself, be the person I am, and exhibit it. That's really it.
How much did Abdul maybe help open things up for you and everybody else with the attention that he maybe drew?
How did he open things up?
Yeah.
He's a dominant player. He's a great person, great on the field, off the field. He definitely just opened things up from him being so dominant. The quarterback may have to get the ball out faster, and they have the game plan for him, which opened up areas for certain other guys on the field to make plays and make things happen. But he definitely was a dominant force, and he played a big part in our defense. And we did it.
How do you characterize him as a leader?
As a leader, I would say he's not really a rah-rah guy, but when it comes down to it and he speaks up, guys definitely listen to him and respect him, and he respects us. But he's just a guy. He's a one-on-one guy as well. He can put you to the side and let you know a couple things, hold you accountable, and he held himself accountable as well. So. Yeah, that's how he leads.
Was last year your first year playing without your brother in a long time?
Last year, my first year, it wasn't really it wasn't that weird, but it just felt like, he wasn't there no more. So, it was just, I was still focusing on my process and, taking the steps forward, and I just had to take advantage of it, really, without him.
Since when? When was the last time you guys didn't play together?
When I started wrestling, he was boxing, so that's probably the only thing we do together, so, yeah.
What's the biggest way that Dan Carter made you a better football player? What are your thoughts on him being elevated?
I would say he made me a better football player just from his past experience, all the things he's seen in his career playing at Penn State and after that. But he definitely just gave me certain tips and certain things to add to my game. With how far off he's come from the game, he wasn't that far off, but he was a recent player, so it was definitely great having him in the room, and I think he was definitely a big part of our defense and telling what we did.
Has he been in touch with you?
Tips on the pre-draft process as somebody that went through it himself?
Say it one more time.
Has he given you any tips on the pre-draft process as somebody that also went through it along with obviously what you're probably
He was just, really telling me to be myself, keep it truthful. He really expressed how the film and the tape was going to take care of itself, but, go with my gut. And however I'm feeling, stick with that and, just keep my head down and work hard.
Coach.
Detroit Public School League puts a lot of guys into the league. What is it about Detroit Public School League that you think helps kind of help guys get to the league?
I really think it's the talent within the city. It's definitely guys being familiar with each other, going to different programs or organizations with 7-on-7 groups and things like that. But I definitely say it's the talent and the familiarity with guys growing up with each other, playing with each other, and taking this next steps with going to the next level. And I think that definitely was a good thing for the city.
How much does it mean to you to join that kind of alumni group?
Say it one more time.
How much does it mean to you to kind of be a part of that group of ESL alumni to make it to the league?
It means a lot, really. Seeing the guys that came before me and the guys that I've learned from and guys that have taught me along the way is just really a testament to, giving back to really those guys in the sense of, respecting the game enough to stay humble, to stay down and really listen and be coachable. And then, exhibit it with the younger guys, younger than me coming up, was in the same shoes I was in. So I really cherished it and made it full circle when it was my time to do what they did.
Kobe, what other NFL linebackers do you watch?
I watch a lot of NFL linebackers. I would say NFL linebackers that I model my game after. I love Levante David. He's one of them. Just with his IQ, his distinctiveness, his leadership on the field and off the field. He's a great guy as well. I would also say Zaire Franklin for the Colts. He's those two guys are really unsung heroes, and the preparation they put into the game, I really admire that, and try to model some of their characteristics and play style into my game. But I would say, Ray Lewis, he's the blueprint of it, and he's my favorite linebacker of all time.
Okay, what kind of relationship did you have with Bo Pavula, and what makes him a good quarterback?
Me and Bo, we had a great relationship. Just competing in practice, the way his play style was definitely different than any other quarterback I've seen. He was probably one of the hardest workers we had at Penn State, and it wasn't we weren't that close, but we were close enough. Just competing in practice and talking on the field and off the field, getting tips and things from him getting tips from me. Yeah.
What makes him difficult to defend?
I would say his running style. People wouldn't think he's that fast or that strong or that explosive, and he kind of catches guys off guard when he runs around him and bend the corner, but. His IQ as well. He was a defensive guy in high school, and that definitely translated for him playing quarterback. You just knowing ins and out of the game and the schemes.
Kobe, there was
Oh yeah, I met with the Lions. It would mean a lot, really, being a hometown kid. Lions have had this past year had one of the best seasons that I've seen since I've been a Lions fan. But it would mean a lot, being a hometown kid, staying home, coming home, and that's really it.
Kobe, a lot of guys from.
To maybe take over that Mike spot that you have.
Man, that's up in the air right now. But I would say guys like Keon Wiley, Tamir Robinson, Anthony Specker, those guys really have learned a lot along their process and kept their head down and really developed throughout, their time at Penn State. But really, them being within LBU really set the standard and showed them how to get things done and how to do things the right way. But those guys are really the guys up next for that spot.
Kobe, a lot of guys that you that could have been here with you from Penn State decided to go back. What's your reaction to that? Did it tempt you at all to join them?
It was a long thought-out process for me. A lot of things to think about, a lot of things to talk about with my family and go over. It really just started intrinsically, really just talking to myself and sticking with my gut and seeing how I really feel. But to those guys, I really think it's just probably the same thing I was feeling in my third year, thinking about, I was draft eligible. Should I come back or should I stay another year? It really just played a part into the brotherhood and togetherness they had and the relationships that they built at Penn State. And I do think they and we had so much to accomplish. So, them coming back to really pursue those dreams and see that out really shows how hard they worked and how hard they're working now.
How did you find out that Coach Allar was leaving? How did that maybe impact your decision?
How did I find out? I found out he actually called me. He called me. He was just talking first, and then he told me I'm at Clemson, blah blah. Good luck going forward. But we were just talking, and he called me. Actually, he was just giving me kudos. I was giving him props because I only had 1 year with him. He had 1 year with me, and I learned a lot from him. He learned a lot from me, and he definitely helped me become a better man. But he definitely called me, and I probably heard speculations on the media he might be the next candidate for the Clemson spot, and it's just sometimes it just be talk. But he called me and let it known that he would be leaving Penn State.
What's the biggest thing you learned from him?
The biggest thing I learned from him was understanding what guys are doing around me, how to play within the scheme more efficiently, and he expanded my IQ just from regards of knowing where I'm supposed to be at what time and know who else is supposed to be where they're supposed to be. And, you know, just knowing other guys' jobs, knowing how to do things the right way, and knowing how things are supposed to be done defensively.
What are you looking to prove this week?
He's talking about how he's pretty confident he's the best player, the best player. One, do you agree? And two, just kind of where does his confidence come from that he can say that? So,
and we're talking about who? What player? Abdul, I think his confidence just comes from his upbringing. It comes from his background. It comes from what type of player he is. He's a dominant player. He wants to get better every day. He wants to grow. He also wants to compete, and we seen that first day he came in. Great guy on the field, off the field, but he really just wants to dominate and show everyone that he's the best, really.
Kobe, who do you think should be on the cover of CFB 26?
Drew Allar. Drew Allar.
What do you want to prove this week?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I have.
Was that a formal, informal meeting?
Man, I can't really tell you. I can't really tell you off the top of my head. Yes, I did. I did.
Have you met with the Raiders?
I met with the Raiders.
What was that meeting like? Anything stand out?
It really stood out. Just, you know, the football talk we had. You know, all the meetings were kind of similar, and it kind of felt like, you know, kind of the same. But the football talk we've had, the guy was from Michigan, so he was a hometown guy, and we kind of had a good connection there. But really, the football talk, the ins and outs, and talking about the game and how it's kind of reverting back to the old playing style with a lot of running backs getting like recognition again. With, you know, the running back game, it kind of went away from it. It's not really went away, but running backs weren't getting a lot of recognition, and we thought that it would definitely get back to a similar game. That's as far as how it was a couple years ago or back in the day with, you know, bigger linebackers being needed to fill gaps and make tackles and stop running backs. So it was just good football talk, and we made a good connection.
Kobe, you played in almost 50 college football games. All that experience, how does that help you as you get ready to go to the NFL?
Well, I think all the experience really starts in practice with the guys that I've competed with day in, day out, offensively and defensively. But just the experience from my freshman year to the last game I played in Miami, it really was a testament to my progress, how much I've grown from my first game to my last game. I cherished it all. I cherished the fans, cherished playing with my teammates, but really the amount of talent that I've seen throughout my years and the amount of talent that I had to prepare for throughout the week was just, it was awesome, really. Just seeing different guys day in, day out, week in, week out, having to compete against different guys with different talents and different type of schemes. It was really just, you know, it's football, and I really loved it. Comparing preparation for one guy this week and then another guy, different type of style, is really just different types of football that I had to get ready for. So that's really it.
You meet with the Bills?
One more time?
Did you meet with the Bills?
Not at all.
No. Okay.
Kobe, you guys obviously played a terrific season defensively this year. Not too many offenses had a lot of success, but one was Oregon in that Big Ten title game. What were they doing? What was Dylan Gabriel doing that day that just made it tough on you guys?
I would say they really took advantage of exhibiting different formations that we haven't seen all year. They definitely did a lot of film work and, you know, studying our defensive scheme. But the tempo was very fast. I don't think we've seen that since I've been here. We've seen tempo a lot, but they had a very fast tempo and very fast-paced offense. But just the amount of formation that they showed that game was really, you know, we had to go back to the drawing board after that because we ain't really seen much of that all year.
You obviously face a great tight end every day in practice, but they have a great tight end as well, Ferguson 3, who's here. What was that matchup like for you? What stood out about that matchup with him?
With the tight end they had?
At Oregon, yeah, 3.
Oh man, the matchup was awesome. It was something to look forward to. It was something that we took on our shoulders as a challenge, just like any other week. But you know, we've seen Tyler Warren, Theo Johnson, Brent Strange, those guys in the past, and it was really nothing different from what we've seen. But I would definitely say it was something to prepare for because, you know, those guys are guys too, and they're getting paid scholarships to do what they do, and we are too. But it was great preparing for guys like that and the caliber of team they played for and the talent that they had. It was awesome.
Kobe, do you have a story that kind of exemplifies who Abdul Carter is?
A story that kind of exhibits what type of character he is.
Yeah.
I would say his first day on campus. Not his first day. His first workout. It was in the summertime. He was talking competitively to us. He was telling us how good he was going to be. He was telling us how hard he was going to work, what he was going to do, and he definitely showed that in the first workout and in the first game that I seen him play. So since the first day, he's been one to dominate.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.